When people want to scale, what they want to do is they want to spend less time working. Okay. And that's, hey, listen, yes, let's go. Less productivity, more enjoying our lives. I'm here for it. And so here's the thing about scaling and how I personally scaled my high ticket one-on-one branding experience. But a note on scaling, there is so much, an inordinate amount of focus put on scaling in the industry. And I think that it's harmful. I think that we are trying to scale things that shouldn't be scaled. The whole point of a high ticket experience should be getting intimate one-on-one tailored support. If you read my article that I wrote, How to Be an Overnight Success, no, really, I talk about how we're scaling things that have no business being scaled. And when it comes to building your brand, you don't need a big box, you need a tailor, right? Whether it's business coaching, whether it's branding strategy, whatever it might be. When people want to scale, what they want to do is they want to spend less time working. Okay. And that's, hey, listen, yes, let's go. Less productivity, more enjoying our lives. I'm here for it. And so if the question is, how do I spend less time doing the same thing over and over again? What the traditional response to that is, you're going to create a huge program where you're going to serve hundreds or thousands at a time, and you're not going to give them any personalized support. This is the part that I don't agree with. Not for a high ticket experience, but there is still a way to scale it in the sense that you're not spending your time doing the same things repetitively. So for me, the better question is, how do I free up my time on the things that don't need my personalized attention so that I have more time to give the personalized attention and I don't feel depleted, right? So we're not taking the personal attention away, but it is about automating or creating a system for the pieces that can be replicated so you can show up and be brilliant in the one-on-ones, in the tailoring, and not be exhausted. So I'm going to show you how I have done this. When I am working one-on-one with a client and we are working on a full rebrand, my signature process includes, we're diving into your business model, where the opportunities for growth are, where are the challenges. We're looking at your marketing strategy. How are you bringing people in? How are you nurturing your relationships with them, moving them towards a sale when it's right? Then we're talking about the messaging and how to really pull out your superpowers and make sure that's on full display. And finally, the design is always the reward, I say, for once we get through that kind of tougher strategy work, then we create the home for your messaging. We create the visual, emotional experience where it's going to live. How are you going to decorate the space in your audience's brain when they imagine you? That's what the design is there to do. So there are pieces of this process that I have to go over again and again with every single one of my clients, where we're talking about the foundations of business and marketing and messaging. How did I do this in my business? I created my own signature framework, my own process that has a ton of resources, a ton of materials to orient people and educate them about the very foundations of how we're going to be approaching their project, that is self-paced before we get onto our strategy calls. And there's a two-part benefit to this. One, the client is getting into my world and they've got a ton of education even before we get on the phone. And two, they're doing assignments and they're going through kind of my process, and it's helping me to become, like what I like to say, their brand's BFF. It is orienting me so that I'm not an expert, but I have a really good understanding, a bird's eye view of their business before we ever get on the phone. I'm not wasting their time being like, so what's your mission? What is your offerings? I already have that information. I then can see all the opportunities for growth. Here's what that looks like. Oh my God, makes me feel naked and my screen is so dirty, not even the filter is taking that away. But here's what it looks like. So when somebody becomes a client, they get access to this dashboard that is walking them through all of these foundations. You see what I just told you? There's kind of 4 core elements. There's business foundations, there's the digital strategy piece, there's the copy, content, and messaging, and then the cherry on the sundae is the visual identity. And as you can see, there's assignments that they fill out at each juncture before we get on strategy calls. This has, as I said, the double impact of they're getting their head in the game. This is opening up the questions that they need to ask me And it's also keeping our project on track, moving more efficiently. Sometimes clients are like, they want to skip ahead, and it's like, hold on, we got to do parts 1 and 2 first. And it's helping me be understand how their business functions so I can help them on the strategy call. A few years after I created this framework for my clients, I ended up turning it into a course so I could serve folks who were more at the very beginning stages of their business. I've thought about bringing it back. I definitely want to modify some of these materials, make them a little bit more modern. Anybody interested in that? But I will say that even when I am teaching the course, which is more scaled in the sense that I'm able to serve many people at once, I'm still teaching the classes live. And that is because I'm still personalizing the lessons to who is in the room with me. It is not scaled in the sense that I've taken myself out of it. It's scaled in the sense that I'm not repeating myself on the things that I teach again and again, and I'm saving my personal energy for the real high-level customization. This is the thing. High-tick experience that doesn't include personal attention, a lot of personal attention is not a high-ticket experience. And that, I believe, is unethical. This is what I see time and time again. Business owners get to a point in their service-based or their educational business models where they have validated that what they're teaching, how they're guiding people works. And then they get this message that's like, well, you could be making a lot more money if you just took yourself out of the equation. Scale it. Get yourself out. And they feel even like they're leaving money on the table, or like there's something wrong with them, that they're stupid because they haven't taken what has worked because it's personalized and then scaled it to serve thousands at a time. This is a problem. And this is what's wrong with all of these big celebrity high ticket business coaching programs, is that somebody finds something that works because it worked one-on-one or it worked in a small group setting, and then they try to scale it to fucking thousands. And if you remember what I talked about with B School and the value people got out of B School, most of the B School success stories I've heard are about the business deals that people did in the group. It wasn't the information. The information isn't worth $2,500. When Amy Porterfield or Laura Belgray sell you B School based on the fact that they were students too, what they're not telling you is they took the earliest version of the program that was originally a mastermind, a small group mastermind, where I'm pretty sure they paid like $30,000 to sit in Marie Forleo's energy. But here's the difference. Marie was there in it with them. It was like her and 8 other people. It was like Gabrielle Bernstein, Chris Carr, Laura Roeder. They went on retreats together. They spent time together. They all affiliated for each other. Anytime you see somebody like Laura Belgray talking about making her first $1 million at 50, that's because she became an affiliate and she's just making money off of affiliate stuff. Like that's the majority of her revenue. So these folks are selling you testimonials for their success stories from when they used to be more personalized. The scaled version of this is just simply nowhere near as effective as the custom experience. I think the biggest problem here is that the industry is selling this dream that you will get to a certain point in your business where you can serve thousands at a time, make a ton of fucking money, and have the same impact on the folks that are learning from you. And it's just not true. You're not going to have the same impact. And when we see these testimonials coming out of these celebrity personal brand coaching programs, Tony Robbins, Jenna Kutcher, Russell Brunson, what we're seeing is people essentially doing the business coaching equivalent of wearing a brand on their shirt. They're wearing the Nike logo. They're wearing the Forleo logo. I want to be part of the group. I want to be part of the cool kids. I did B School too. Maybe I'll be included. Maybe one of these celebrities will take notice of me and then they'll want me to be an affiliate, or they'll give me a testimonial. That's how the sausage gets made. We're scaling things that have no business being scaled. And that's how the cookie crumbles.